of all your time that you spent in Europe, what was a particularly memorable match that comes to mind when you think? I'm not saying it doesn't have to be necessarily like the best match ever. Just a happy memory of an happy match.
I think there's three that come to mind right off the bat when you just want to like think ones that are special to me, a happy match. The first one is the one that kind of got me my, quote unquote job with WXW, and that's working with Bad Bones John Klinger. It wasn't taped, it wasn't put on WXW Now or anything like that. It was just a series of town shows my very first weekend, and John got paired up with me, and he pulled me aside. He told me all of his ideas, what he wanted to do. He had seen my stuff before I had come over, so he was somewhat familiar, which was really cool. And then the last weekend we main evented, which I think Walter was hesitant to because he was helping book the cards on those town shows. I think he was hesitant to let that happen because he's like, we don't know him. He's from overseas. We don't really. And John was kind of like, no, it'll be fine. Trust me. And then that main event, we knocked it out of the park. And after that was when I was asked if I would want to come over on a regular basis. And the match itself was a lot of fun. It was a pleasure working with John.
He's been a guest on the show before. Is the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
And also the scariest. I don't know how's that possible to combine the two, but he is. He really is.
But so big, that was a happy memory. Another one is my match for the unified world title with Ilja Dragunov. I would say that was kind of a high pressure situation because originally that whole tour I was supposed to be teaming with Jurn Simmons as the Crown at that time, and we're supposed to be going for the tag titles and working matches with Ringkampf and stuff like that. And then, unfortunately Jurn got hurt, and then I was kind of dead in the water. And it was all because of an in-ring promo I cut in Frankfurt that, the powers that be at the time came up to me and were like, well, we're just going to put you in the world title tournament, or not tournament, the world title picture after a promo like that. And it was directed towards Ilja, and they let me help. They gave me a lot of creative control setting up a little feud, and then we co-main evented. Sorry, I said that word. We co-main evented the 20th anniversary show at the Hamburg venue, the Markthalle, I think it's called, the Hamburg venue. It was the 20th show or 20th anniversary show there, not of years, but actual shows. And we were co-main eventing with Zack Sabre Jr. and Walter. And I think me and Ilja both had a chip on our shoulder, like, we're for the world title, we should be the main event. But they were the main event, we were the co-main event. And so we both had we loved working with each other. We had a bit of a chip on our shoulder going into it, and I think we knocked it out of the park. I got a lot of people said they really enjoyed it. It's one of the few matches I can watch back, and I don't nitpick every little thing. I can actually enjoy it and be proud of it. And a lot of people I don't. No offense to anyone that rates shows online or critiques or whatever. It's not my thing. I don't read it. No offense to them. I don't care. It doesn't affect how I do my business. Yeah. I don't think it's healthy for a performer to read all that kind of stuff and let that dictate their art. Again, no offense to the people who do that. It's their opinions. I'm fine with it. It's cool. Do your thing. Yeah. But I don't read that kind of stuff. But the next day, Walter and a couple other people pointed out to me, oh, people really liked it. And some people ranked it as being almost match the night with Zach and Walter and getting up there with them, which was pretty high praise. And just in general, it was a match that it's one of the first matches I can hang my hat on and be real proud of. And now if you go to cagematch.com and stuff like that, I think it's cagematch.de. If you want a suggested match to watch on WXW, that's one of them, which is kind of a proud point for me. Oh, yeah. So that's definitely one. And then the third I thought of is me and Tyler Colton versus Jurn Simmons in the Rotation in Dresden in 2019, late 2019. It was a tag match. It was in the middle of this big feud between me and Jurn. We had gone from clashing against each other in my first big feud in WXW to being a team that was running through people, but for some reason, not working out. And then we split and had this big feud, and this was in the middle of it. And everything that could have hit that night hit perfectly. The crowd was really behind us. They were behind everything we were trying to accomplish story-wise. Everything was firing on all cylinders. Like I said, they were there for everything, and it was just a lot of fun. And it's another one of the matches where we came back, and there was a lot of guys in the back who are real pumped about it. And again, whenever I get done a match, I'm never happy with it. Never. I'm never proud. I'm never I'm never. But this was one of the few where I was kind of you know what? That might have been pretty good. That might have been okay. Maybe we're all right at this.
Yeah, no nitpicking for this one.
Yeah. This one I was kind of I'll leave this be.